Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Okay. I need the Srimad-bhagavatam. Reading from Srimad-bhagavatam, 8th Canto, Chapter 14, text number 5. Tato dharmam chatushpadam manavo harinoditaha yukta sancharayant yada Sway sway kale mahing ripa. Tato dharmang chatushpadam. Manavo harinoditaha. Yukta sancharayant yada. Sway sway kale mahing ripa. Tato dharmang chatushpadam. Manavo harinoditaha. Yukta sancharayant yada. Sway sway kale mahing ripa. Dharmang chatushpadam. Manohari Nodayitataha. Yukta Sancharayant Yada. Sway Sway Kale Mahing Ripa. Tato Dharmang Chatushpadam. Manavo Harinoditaha. Yukta Sancharayant Yada. Sway Sway Kale Mahing Ripa. Tato Dharmang Chatushpadam. Manavo Harinoditaha. Yukta Sancharayant Yada. Sway Sway Kale Mahing Ripa. So, word for word synonyms. Tata. Thereafter. At the end of Kali Yuga. Dharmam. The religious principle. Chatupadam. In 4 parts. Manavaha. All the Manus. Harina. By the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Aditaha. Being instructed. Yuktaha. Being engaged. Sancharyanti. Re-establish. Ada. Directly. Sway sway. In their own. Kale. Time. Mahim. Within this world. Nripa. O King. Thereafter, O King, the Manus, being fully engaged according to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, directly re-establish the principles of occupational duty in its full 4 parts. chapter is called The System of Universal Management.
Система универсальной
Um,
управления Вселенной. Система управления Вселенной.
okay.
Когда царь строго следует указанию Верховной Личности Бога Ману, непосредственно восстанавливает все 4 части религиозных обязанностей.
I haven't started the purport yet. You reading the purport? Okay. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse... No, I'm sorry. Not purport. Purport for verse 5. Dharma, or occupational duty, can be established in its full 4 parts, as explained in Bhagavad Gita.
Как объясняется в Бхагавад-гите, дарма или коллективная обязанность может быть восстановлена полностью на 4 типа. В Бхагавад-гите 4.1 Господь говорит.
In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 1, the Lord says, Imang vivasvate yogam proktavamaham avyayam vivaswan manave praha manur ikshvakvave pravit. And the quote, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshwaku. End quote.
Я открыл эту вечную науку йоги, Богу Солнца Вивасвану. Вивасван поведал ее Ману, а Ману свой черед поведал ее Шваку.
This is the process of disciplic succession.
Таков принцип преемственности в духовной науке.
Following the same process, the Krishna consciousness movement is teaching the principles of Bhagavad Gita as it is, without deviation, all over the world. If the fortunate people of this time accept the instructions of Lord Krishna, they will certainly be happy in Lord Chaitanya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone, at least in India, to become a preacher of this mission. In other words, one should become a guru and preach the Lord's instructions all over the world for the peace and prosperity of humanity. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Kinachana Shalakaya Chakshurun Vinitam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, Srila Prabhupada once said, the only purpose for this Krishna consciousness movement is to make people happy. Of course, everyone wants to be happy. It is the nature of the spirit soul to be happy. But no one can actually be happy without becoming Krishna conscious. Srila Prabhupada wrote in the beginning of the introduction to the Srimad-bhagavatam
И здесь в предисловии Сримад-бхагаватам Шрила Прабхупада упоминал,
that he says it's not that the world has fallen into the darkness of oblivion.
Крила полон.
He's not. He's okay. Srila Prabhupada was pointing out that
Шрила Прабхупада упоминал,
that in the world there are many. He said many kinds of advancement, medicine,
в этом мире
technology.
очень много продвижения цивилизации, науки.
But he said, I don't know how you translate this to Russian, but he said there's a pinprick in society.
Но всегда есть такой момент, как это укол иголкой, какое-то небольшое неудовлетворение существует.
And because of that, people are unhappy.
И люди, они полностью неудовлетворены, чего-то не хватает.
So the Srila Prabhupada's recommendation is that, of course, everyone takes up the path of Krishna consciousness.
И рекомендация Шрилы Прабхупады, что каждый из людей принял путь сознания Кришны.
And taking up the path of Krishna consciousness means accepting the same knowledge that Lord Krishna gave in the beginning.
И принять сознание Кришны, это значит, как Господь Чайтанья дал в самом начале движения.
Because in the verse we quoted from Bhagavad Gita,
И который стих мы цитировали из Бхагавад-гиты,
Krishna is speaking.
Кришна говорит,
Shishi Gauranitai, Shishi Radha Braja Vihari, Jagannath, Balaram, Lady Subhadra, and Shri Padmaran, Chi. So Lord Krishna is speaking. He said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan.
и как Кришна цитирует вот это, что я передал эту науку, нетленную науку Богу Солнцу Вивасвану.
And Vivaswan instructed it to Manu.
И Вивасан наставил, передал эту науку Ману.
Manu instructed it to his son Ikshwaku.
И Ману наставил своего сына Икшваку.
And gradually this knowledge has been handed down in the same way.
И так постепенно эта наука сошла до наших времен.
So Srila Prabhupada explains that this is parampara.
И Шрила Прабхупада объяснил, это есть цель парампара.
It means, and we say, it is said that the guru is one.
И Шрила Прабхупада говорил, что духовный учитель, он один.
The guru is one does not mean that so many gurus are actually the same personality, same spirit, soul. It means something different.
И гуру это не значит, что душа, как бы все разные, как души. Все не член.
Yes, I'm coming. So, guru, position of guru is actually a principle. It's not just a person.
Это гуру, это не просто личность, это принцип.
Yes.
Но принцип
Well, I'll explain
это не
that.
просто как бы личность, не принцип, а
Yes. Yes, guru. In other words, guru means that you are. Guru means that you're acharya,
духовный учитель, значит, это ачарья.
and what are the qualifications of acharya?
И какая квалификация ачарья?
Acharya has three qualifications.
У ачарьи есть три квалификации.
He has received knowledge from the
получает знания
parampara.
от парампары,
He is repeating that knowledge
и он
as it
повторяет
is,
это знание, которое он получил от парампары.
and he is showing by his practical life how to practice that knowledge.
И он также на своем примере учит, как практиковать это знание.
So this knowledge, that this verse is describing this parampara system.
И этот стих, он описывает парампару, систему парампары.
So that means that Vivaswan, Manu, Ishwaku,
И в основном маму, шлаху, парампара, передача знания.
they're all functioning as guru
И они как упоминаются как гуру,
because they're all receiving knowledge that came from Krishna,
и они получили те знания, которые зашло от Кришны.
and they are passing it down as it is.
И так они передали это знание до нас, как оно есть.
So guru is one means that the same instructions given by
Один и наставление есть.
say the meaning of guru is one is that guru now is repeating the same knowledge, same instructions that Krishna originally spoke.
И гуру один, это гуру, который дает сейчас знания, он тоже, что то же самое знание, что Кришна давал знания Господу Вишвасвами.
And because that same knowledge is being spoken again and again, the same potency is there.
То же самое знание дается снова и снова.
The same potency is there.
И та же самая потенция там присутствует.
Otherwise, if Lord Krishna spoke one thing and we're speaking something different now, then the spiritual potency would be gone.
Если Кришна дал одно знание, а кто-то сказал что-то противоположное, другое, то духовная энергия, она не будет присутствовать.
Now, sometimes there are, we say, details that might be a little bit different than what that.
Но какие-то детали могут чуть-чуть отличаться.
For example, Srila Prabhupada explains that there are two kinds of activities.
Я, к примеру, Шрила Прабхупада объяснял две деятельности.
One is general principles,
Один из них это обычные принципы,
and the other is are details.
а другое это детали.
So the general principles have to be maintained.
И обычные принципы это как поддерживается.
For example,
К примеру,
during the time of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta,
во времена Бхактисиддханты Сарасвати
he considered a person to be very fallen if they were not chanting 64 rounds a day.
считалось, если человек не повторяет в день 64 круга, значит он падший.
So that makes us very fallen.
Это значит, что мы очень падшие.
But the general principle
Но обычные принципы,
that any guru must give knowledge of is that we need to chant the Hare Krishna mantra.
и гуру он должен давать знания, поскольку мы нуждаемся в повторении святого
And not only should we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, but we should chant some regulated amount, minimum amount on our beads.
Не просто повторять Харе Кришна мантру, но надо какое-то число кругов повторять, чтобы регулировать свой ум.
Now, how many rounds a particular acharya will tell their followers that they need to chant, it may vary. In the early days of ISKCON,
самом начале движения
sometime before I started,
даже до того времени, когда я начал практиковать в
Srila Prabhupada wanted the devotees to chant 64 rounds a day,
некоторые преданные повторяли 64 круга,
but nobody could do it.
но многие не могли делать этого.
And then he said, okay, try 32 rounds a day.
И тогда Прабхупад сказал, ну, хотя бы 32 давайте попробуйте.
But that also was not possible.
И преданные тоже стали возмущаться, что это невозможно.
So then he reduced to 16 rounds,
И дошло, что 16 кругов.
but he said, in ISKCON, nobody can ever reduce that.
И Прабхупад сказал, что в Исконе никто не может что-то поменять.
So the general principle is to chant Hare Krishna, to chant some regular minimum chanting on beads. And the detail is how many rounds the big acharyas have said that we need to chant. So within ISKCON, of course, Srila Prabhupada has a very unique position. He is the founder acharya. And founder acharya means that he establishes the general principles for our branch of the Sampradaya. So yeah, he established the general principles. Srila Prabhupada set up a certain standard of deity worship. He established a certain level of sadhana, like chanting 16 rounds minimum, and following the four regular principles. He established for ISKCON Mangal Artik every day, Guru Puja, Tulasi Puja, Srimad-bhagavatam Class every day, Bhagavad Gita class in the evening, which we're still lacking. But these are all parts of what he did. Right? Srila Prabhupada established a certain system of the administrative system structure in ISKCON. He allowed women living in the ashram that was not previously encouraged. He, of course, he's the founder of Acharya, so his books are the basis for everything we do. Anything that we know, anything that we are preaching, comes basically out of Srila Prabhupada's books. Of course, Srila Prabhupada many times quotes the scriptures of the previous acharyas,
И, конечно, Шрила Прабхупада часто цитировал предыдущих царей.
And he many times quotes them. So we also may read the books of the Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and so on like that.
Мы также читаем книгу Рупы Госвами, Санатана Госвами, других Госвами.
We don't read those books in place of Srila Prabhupada's books, but we can enhance our understanding more also.
One more time,
We do not, it's not that we say, oh, Jiva Goswami was a great acharya, so therefore I'll read his books, I don't need Srila Prabhupada's books. No,
мы
you're
не
not.
говорим так, что вот Шрила Госвами это великий ачарья, и я буду читать только его книги, и буду также дотрагиваться к книгам Шрила Прабхупады.
Basically, we cannot understand the books of the previous acharyas without Srila Prabhupada's
На
books.
самом деле мы не сможем понять предыдущих ачарьев, как Шрила Госвами, других Госвами, недавно не изучая книги Шрила Прабхупады.
For example, Srila Rupa Goswami wrote the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
К примеру, Рупа Госвами написал Бхакти Расамрита Синху.
And Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the basis for what the nectar of devotion.
Ну, вот это основа там, сами преданности, читали.
But if you try to read the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu without having read that nectar of devotion, it's very difficult.
Если мы просто притронемся к чтению Бхакти Расамриты Синху, не как как преданность, то будет очень трудно понять.
But if you have read Srila Prabhupada's books and you've read Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu makes a lot more sense.
И если мы будем читать нектар преданности Шрилы Прабхупады, а потом Бхакти Расамриту Синху, то нам будет намного понятнее.
So we cannot jump over the current acharya.
Великого ачарья, как Шрила Прабхупада.
Yeah, we cannot jump over the present acharya, Srila Prabhupada, to go to the previous acharyas.
Да, мы не можем перепрыгнуть настоящего ачарья Шрилы Прабхупады, предыдущих ачарьев.
But if this knowledge is handed down as it is,
И это знание, оно как зашло к нам, как оно вышло.
then there will be there'll be nothing lost as far as the potency for making us Krishna conscious.
Потерянного Кришна consciousness.
Are there any questions?
И еще есть ли какие-то вопросы?
Everyone's tired today.
Сегодня все устали.
If we're tired, just stand up.
Если кто-то устал, может подняться и встать.
My first whole year in the movement, I never sat down during Srimad-bhagavatam Class.
How many 6 months?
The first 1 year that I was in,
Первый год, вообще, когда я прихожу в сознание Кришны, я никогда не садился, потому что буду спать, всегда засыпал.
I wanted to hear the philosophy, and I couldn't. I knew I would fall asleep.
И когда это философию слушаю, я всегда засыпал.
Like that.
Это вот.
Questions?
Если вот все, вот. What they have said, everyone should become guru preaching around the world. But there to become guru is like big effort. It's like they need like quality, that we feel like guru. It's like not everyone can become guru.
Okay. So
Like preachers,
no, isn't that true? Everyone can do something as guru.
Каждый может сделать что-то подобное, как делает гуру.
There are different there are many different kinds of gurus.
Есть разные категории гуру.
Of course, we mostly think of Diksha Guru.
Мы думаем, что как дикция.
So of course, the Diksha Guru, yes, there are some qualifications to take that position.
И, конечно, стать дикша-гуру надо иметь определенную квалификацию.
And then there's also Shiksha Guru, one who gives instructions.
Есть шикша-гуру, который дает наставления.
But you can, if you even if you just have a little bit of knowledge of Krishna consciousness,
Даже если у кого-то есть малейшая частица сознания Кришны,
and you go to a friend of yours and say, hey,
если вы обратитесь к своим друзьям, другу,
well, why don't you try this chanting of Hare Krishna? This is really nice.
и можно сказать, почему ты не пытаешься повторять как Харе Кришна, это так классно.
And you're acting that as you're that kind of guru is called a Vartma Pradarshaka Guru.
И такой гуру, он называется Ватмана Прадакшика гуру.
Vartma, it means the first one to show the path of Krishna consciousness.
И это значит, что тот, кто дал искорку сознания Кришны в первый раз.
And we see in the history of Dhruva Maharaj.
Если посмотрим историю про Dhruva Махараджа,
Well, we all know about Dhruva Maharaj, yes.
все читали, да, про Dhruva
Yeah.
Махараджа.
Okay, so Dhruva Maharaj, at the end of his life, he was going back to the spiritual world.
И on the end of life,
At the end, when he died, when he gave up his body,
когда он оставил тело, он вернулся в духовный мир.
so he went back to actually he went to his Dhruva Loka,
На самом деле он вернулся на Dhruva Loka,
which is a spiritual planet.
что это духовная планета.
But when he was leaving this planet,
Но когда он жил на этой планете,
he was remembering his mother, who first advised him to go and worship Lord Vishnu.
и он помнил мать, которая дала наставление ему идти проповедовать.
His mother was like the Vartma Pradarshika guru for him.
Его мать это как Ватмана Прадакшика гуру.
So because she had helped him on the path,
И мать ему помогла принять путь сознания Кришны.
and he became fully Krishna conscious,
И он стал полностью преданным Кришне.
then when he went back to the spiritual world, she followed him.
И он вернулся в духовный мир. Маза полностью.
But, yeah, she was.
И мать последовала за ним.
Dhruva Maharaj was taken in a. It's called Vimana. It's like a Vaikuntha airplane.
И это также есть такой аэроплан, называется Виман.
And then when he looked back, he saw that his mother was also being taken in another Vimana behind him.
И он повернулся назад и увидел, что его мать, она тоже села на Виман и следовала за ним.
So the point is that we can all, in one way or another, tell somebody or many people about Krishna.
Мы можем говорить многим людям и друзьям о Харе Кришне.
Just like we were doing this, these classes are being streamed here.
Ну вот как мы сейчас делаем, у нас есть это онлайн-стрим.
So I don't know who all is watching,
Я не знаю, кто смотрит,
but yesterday I saw
но вчера я посмотрел,
that there were about 80 others watching outside.
где-то 80 человек смотрели онлайн-стрим.
So in that way, in that way, we can each do our part to give Krishna conscious knowledge or Krishna conscious guidance to others.
И мы вот так, таким образом, каждый может передавать сознание Кришны другим.
And of course, if we are giving good knowledge and we are also showing good example, then the potency will be very good in convincing others.
Если мы будем таким образом нести, проповедовать, давать другим знания, сознание Кришны, то мы будем наполняться духовной энергией каждого.
Does that answer the question? Any other questions?
Кто-то еще, кто-то хочет спросить.
Anyone online have questions?
Если кто-то смотрит онлайн, может спросить вопрос какой-то. Есть интернет, наверное, Prabhu Hare Krishna. We have class Srimad-bhagavatam. Maybe you have some. Okay. Maybe you have any questions?
Hard to have questions if
Yeah.
you're attending the class. Okay. Anyway, if there's no questions. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, you have any questions in your life? You ask somebody something you want to ask?
Well, we did. I spoke for a while. I asked for questions.
I'm a householder,
Ah,
and
Yes,
how do I balance my life between
как я могу балансировать мою жизнь?
I wouldn't say my common goal, but it's something which, by virtue of our relationship with our kin, wife,
Как я могу
he's translating to Russian.
and how do I, practice my Christian consciousness at the same time.
И в то же время,
I'm
как
a
я могу
householder, I'm married,
практиковать
I have
сознание
kids,
Кришны.
and, there's another example, I'm visiting for a wedding here.
Я просто посетил сюда свадебную церемонию.
Be there for us 2 days, but
Сегодня
I want to be back home.
Yes. Is your family is devotee? I mean, they're Krishna conscious.
My wife is not an initiative devotee, but yes, she practices.
Yeah.
But then
Моя
again,
жена не
she's like,
инициирована, но она практикует.
Okay. Well, but on your side, you try to give Krishna consciousness to the family.
I'm trying to.
Yes.
I'm just holding myself also tight
Yes.
so that I don't drift loose.
Ты должен пытаться давать сознание.
So during the day, you're working. So you think I'm working to earn some money to help my Krishna conscious family or my family to become Krishna conscious.
Ты работаешь и должен понимать, что
Prabhupada,
работа
she and I are working, follow my family, my child, so that they can also become good devotees.
Я тоже хочу, чтобы мой
Yes.
ребенок был
Yeah.
преданным.
Yeah. And the begging of the Lord speaks also that,
Я
that
молюсь вот о
that
том.
we stick to our rounds, our sadhana more strongly.
Наша садхана была более
Yes,
строгой.
that's what's required. Srila Prabhupada
Yeah.
gave the guidelines. We just simply have to follow.
Prabhu, you can talk here much because
Oh.
online somebody looking out.
Yeah. These microphones are for the. There's a bunch of devotees outside that they hear.
No, but thank you. This is helpful. And in our business, we try to put ourselves in the computer world and fighting against Maya. Also, we understand there's so much already there on us. We understand the concentration position that we have to take Krishna as our Lord and put him in the center and do all our activities, keeping Krishna in the center. Maya is so strong, I think. And you get drifted, you get tempted. It's
Yes, once. It's been 1972 or so. Srila Prabhupada was in New Vrindavan community. He was visiting. And a lot of, it was like a Janmashtami V.S. Puja time. So I happened to be there on that particular occasion. And he was giving some class up on the, I don't know, somewhere up on the hill somewhere. And so someone asked Srila Prabhupada, says, if our purpose is to go back to Krishna, why is Maya so strong? And Srila Prabhupada's answer was, because your purpose is not strong enough. Maya is not strong compared to Krishna.
So that's like Krishna. How do we make our purpose strong?
Chant regularly. You study the books. So we have philosophical supportive philosophy. And if you, I don't know if you can do it in your home situation, but if you have a regular time that you get everyone together and maybe speak read from Bhagavad Gita like that, something regular.
Yeah, we have morning classes.
Morning class, yeah.
Central New Jersey has our own class.
Ah.
And they play in President Joint. The other devotees but it's just one of those times when right now I am out from that sangha and I'm here with something different, trying to convince my wife I'm here with her to be in the way for her aunt's side.
Yes.
It's giving me so much I would say relief, but dissatisfaction, and I just want to be back home now.
Yes, well, that's good. You're hankering to be back in your Krishna conscious situation. That's good. Feeling of separation. We were just talking about separation the other day. Yeah, so you can keep chanting, and then just like Srila Prabhupada, he tells the story of his father. His father Srila Prabhupada tells how when Srila Prabhupada was just a child, he would wake up in the morning hearing his father ringing the bells, worshiping his deity, and then his father would do that, and then he'd go off to his merchant. He's a cloth merchant, so he went off doing that during the day. He said he would rest a little bit in the late afternoon. It got hot, and then he would open up more and work some more, and then he would come back and he'd worship his deity again. But then he said, so he would worship his deity in the morning and the evenings, and most of the time actually working. But he said, for livelihood, my father did, the business. But he said his real business was worshiping Krishna. That was just a question of your mood. So you have to be busy with working in some way. It's not probably in the association of devotees, unless you're really lucky. And but you just think, I'm doing this, I have to make some money. But my real business is my morning program, my chanting japa, my evening program, if you have one, helping family become Krishna conscious, doing something at the temple, things like that. That's my main. This is what I want, and then these other things I just have to do them, and look forward to the morning and the evening program and the more direct Krishna conscious activities. So that's.
Yeah, just holding myself tight, and as much as you want to love one also, they're taking time.
Yes.
But yeah, Krishna merciful. This is a big legacy here of Prabhupada. He left us, right? I need to come here and chant my name because I was going to this country.
Yes.
So that's what I'll do next, maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and then